Hey guys, I'm Jody.
And I'm Justin.
And we're Board Game Perspective. Today we're taking a look at CYTOSIS, a cell biology game sent to us by Genius Games. And this is ages 10 and up and plays 2 to 5 players. This is a worker placement game where you're going to be placing out flasks, gathering resources, moving these transport vesicles. You're going to be completing enzymes or building enzymes, hormones, receptors, all kinds of things. So let's take a brief look at how to play and come back up with our thoughts. So to set up, you're going to have the board on depending on what player count you have. So I got this set up for a 3-player game. You're going to put out cell component cards down here and have a stash on the side. Then you have a bunch of resources and such on the side as well. The 2 gray flasks go up here. You got your little health markers up here, event cards depending on the player count, and you also place out gold cards up top on the depending on the player count as well. Each player is going to take some cards to start, starting resources, their flasks, and that is the general setup. So this game is played in rounds, and each round has 2 phases. You have the phase where you're placing out your flasks, and then a refresh and event phase. And the game will be triggered when the last event has been revealed. So for phase 1 of placing flasks, there are 4 main areas that you can go to. The first being collecting resources. So let's take a look at a few. So you got the smoothie R section right here, the lipid synthesis. You place your flask here, you get the corresponding amount of yellow cubes. So if I go here, I get 3 yellow cubes. Down here, the free ribosome is where you can turn in black cubes to get red, the same amount of red cubes. Let's see, if you go up here to nucleus, you can get black cubes with the corresponding numbers there. Mitochondria, you can get ATP, and then if you go to this spot, if you turn in 1 green cube, you get 6 ATP. Down here, you turn in ATP to get green cubes, and so for here it's 1 for 1, and here it's 2 for 2. The second type of placement is the cell component cards. This is where you can pay or potentially take one for free if you go here, cell component cards. So if you go here, it costs 1 ATP, 2, and 3. Now the third type of spots that you can go to are completing cell component cards. So if you go to this smooth ER section down here, alcohol detoxification, you place your flask there, then you can complete this alcohol detoxification card that you have in your hand. Now the cost is 2 ATP, and then you would immediately score 1 health, and that is the points up on the track up above here. You could instead do the steroid hormone synthesis if you go here by getting one of your transport discs, the vesicle discs, and placing it here on one of these 2 spots. And then you will place yellow cubes from your supply onto this vesicle. And the amount that you want to put on here is dependent on the steroid hormone card that you're trying to complete. So this one requires 2. So from your supply, you will place 2 onto that vesicle. Going to the rough ER allows you to work on starting to complete the receptor synthesis cards or protein hormone synthesis cards. And here is a protein hormone card, and then you got this receptor card here. Now, what you're going to do is place your flask there, get out one of your transport vesicles onto this location, and you're going to be trading in black cubes from your supply to get the amount of red cubes that you would need on this card that you're trying to complete. So I need 2 red cubes, so I'd have to turn in 2 black cubes from my supply, and then I would grab 2 red cubes and place them here. Now you can go to the Golgi apparatus to work on continuing to complete your cell component cards, and what you're going to do is move down one of your transport vesicles to one of the open spots there, and this is where you can put your yellow or green cube that you might need onto that vesicle. So this is the card we were working on. We already have 2 yellows on there, so I need to put a green from my supply and place it onto that vesicle. And the same concept applies to these as well. You can move these down here, place the cube you need in there. Now if you went to here, exocytosis, you can move one of the vesicles down and that you can complete. So in order to complete, you gotta turn in the cubes. Then you have to pay the ATP cost of the card you're trying to complete. So this is 2, and then you would score the health points. If you go to cytoplasm, this is where you can do enzyme synthesis. So you place your flask there, and you're going to be trying to complete your enzyme card. So you got to pay the ATP cost and turn in whatever cubes are shown on the card. On your turn, you also have the option of getting a gray flask, which basically just gives you another placement worker, and but there's a cost of ATP. If you place your flask up here, you will take the first player token, and you have the option of either getting 1 ATP or placing out a goal marker, and a goal marker corresponds with these goal cards up here. Place your marker out and you will get points at the end of the game, depending on if you complete the card or not. So rounds will continue until event cards, the last event card has been flipped over, and event cards will allow you to do different things. So basically, this one says add 1 additional carbohydrate cube to the glucose transporter that round. So basically, every time you flip over an event card, it's something additional you do. But once the last one has been flipped over, then that triggers the end of the game. Now there's 4 main ways where you can score points. So you got the goal cards up here, which you will see who satisfies the goal cards. You've got alcohol detoxification cards, which are players with the most, second and third of these cards, then they will get X amount of points. And then you have enzyme cards, and depending on how many different enzymes of different colors, so for instance, we got a yellow banner here. Let's say we had another one that had a blue banner. However many different colors you have, or you get those amount of points.
All right, guys, so that is CYTOSIS, and I thought it was a pretty good little game. So it's a nice little worker placement game that doesn't blow you away, but it's definitely got some good things going on with it. I really love the theme. I'm kind of a science guy anyway. So the theme of the cell and how it all works and stuff like that really worked for me. And I think it would really work well also kind of helping to teach kids about this type of subject matter. So I think it's a really fantastic way to kind of do that. Really thought it was interesting. Again, gameplay-wise, it's solid worker placement game. Nothing that's going to blow you away, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, the mechanics are fine, and I mean, it's pretty. I love seeing the cell components out here on the board. It's really neat. I think I really liked the concept of having your transport vesicle that moves. You have to go to multiple spots, kind of move it to different locations and move it out of the cell. I really liked that. It was kind of interesting. Yeah, definitely a great game to play. And like I mentioned earlier, it's ages 10 plus. That's what they suggest in the box. But overall, it was a good game for sure. So especially if you're kind of a more sciencey person, you like science themed stuff, definitely give this one a try for sure. It was a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed the theme quite a lot.
Yep. All right, guys, that is CYTOSIS, a cell biology game. So if you want to help us out, go ahead and click that subscribe button and like this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.